Much, Drew Griffin, OutFront now the chief strategist and communications director for the RNC, Sean Spicer. So, Sean, I don't want to get into a whole debate over what he did or didn't do with his taxes, but merely to say this, we're a week away. We don't have Donald Trump's tax returns. Obviously, every nominee from every major presidential party in the past 40 years has put them out there. If we did that, we would know his tax rate. We would know his charitable donations. We would have answers to all of these questions. You frustrated that he has not come forward yet?
He's asked and answered this for 6 months now. I mean, this isn't a new revelation. I think we just keep dredging up the same story over and over again. He's asked a question. He's answered it. He's made very clear.
73% of voters say he should put it out there, so it remains a relevant issue.
If they have a problem with it, then they can factor that into their decision. But I don't think for a majority of them he's filed over 100 pages of financial disclosure form, which states everything that he owns, all of his debts, all of his assets, which is a much more in detailed form than a simple tax form. So releasing someone's tax bracket or whatever shows you what they did in that given year. He shows every asset that he owns, all the debts that he maintains. So I think it's a much more comprehensive thing. But all of this has been asked and answered for the last 6 months.
So I'm there just so people understand. He did put out a long form. Obviously, that wasn't something that was audited. Wouldn't have your tax return day, your income tax rate. Wouldn't have your charitable giving, things like that, which are questions. But there is a heated battle underway for the state of Utah. And I don't know if you saw early in our show, we laid it out that you could end up with a 269 to 269 race if Evan McMullin.
I saw David Challenger's piece.
Yes, right. If he wins Utah, I mean, it would be a stunning. Perhaps happen to the electoral map, put this to the House of Representatives. Evan McMullin has been surging in the polls. You're well aware of this. That led to a robocall from a man.
Well, first, can I just? Yeah. I think we'll take Maine 2, which is the second congressional district in Maine. Yep. So this will be won't be an issue to begin with.
But Utah, you know,
look, Utah, we're not. This has become a media fascination. We're doing very well in Utah. We'll win it hands down.
All right, you think you're going to win it hands down. There, though, Evan McMullin, as you know, has been climbing in the polls. A robocall came out from a man named William Johnson. He supports Donald Trump. The Trump campaign has come out and said that they do not support what he said, what you're about to hear. He happens to be a white nationalist. He put this robocall out in the state. Here's what it said.
Evan has 2 mommies. His mother is a lesbian married to another woman. Evan is okay with that. Indeed, Evan supports the Supreme Court ruling legalizing gay marriage. Evan is over 40 years old and is not married and doesn't even have a girlfriend. I believe Evan is a closet homosexual.
Now, just a short time ago, Evan McMullin actually responded to this here on CNN. Let me just play that for you, Sean.
But this is exactly the narrative and the approach that the Donald Trump campaign has had. So it didn't even surprise me when I heard news of the robocall. I just thought, well, of course, this is more of the same.
Is he right?
No, he's not right. The call is disgusting. It's reprehensible, and it was inappropriately denounced by the campaign. But for him to then turn it back on them is equal, is almost as reprehensible. We live in a country of over 300+ million people. Not everybody who supports Donald Trump and not everyone who supports Hillary Clinton are exactly the kind of people that you want as supporters.
Not the first white supremacist
right, but at the end of the day,
Trump,
that he's denounced it over and over again. And I think that to continue to give this legs when they have made it very clear that this is not the kind of campaign that they want to be associated with, not the kind of people or tactics they want to be associated with, to give it breath is to kind of, to in fact, help someone like this get their message out, which is not a good thing. But for Evan to turn it back on the Trump campaign that came out very forcefully and denounced this is really not in good keeping.
So John Kasich, Republican governor of Ohio, as you know, has said that he wrote in John McCain. Obviously, Paul Ryan, Marco Rubio are going to vote for Trump. They said they already have, but he wrote in John McCain. You know, Rick Santorum was asked about it today, and he said, I want to say to John Kasich, John, you signed a pledge saying you would support the Republican nominee for president. Is Governor Kasich being disloyal to your party?
Well, look, I think Governor Kasich's been a very good governor for Ohio, not just in terms of his policies, but he's brought a lot of people into the party. We'd love to have his support. I think it would send a good message. We're going to win Ohio regardless, and it's a shame because I think we could have won it more or greater and bigger with John Kasich's support. But I think we're going to look back on this, and it is not going to look good for the Kasich legacy. He did sign a pledge. He's been a really good governor. He's brought more people into this party. It would have been good to bring everybody home. You're seeing it. You brought it up at the panel. We're seeing more and more Republicans get home. I vote for anything but Donald Trump is a de facto vote for Hillary Clinton. It's a de facto vote for liberal judges. It's a de facto vote for more corruption, more scandal. And I think that to make light of this is really misunderstanding the two trajectories that this country can go in.
All right, Sean Spicer, thank you very much.
Thank you.
And next, Jeannie Moe.